Let me recognize the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Arrington, to inquire.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, witnesses. I want to especially recognize the leadership of Russell Benning, my fellow Texan, for his leadership on agriculture issues, being a champion for the industry, for a strong ag economy, for our farmers and ranchers that bless this nation with food security, which is national security. So God bless Texas, and God bless our farmers across the country. I had a friend tell me once, Mr. Chairman, after all is said and done, more is said than done in Washington. There's a fellow named Kent Hance who used to have my position representing West Texas. That couldn't be more true about a single issue than trade under this administration. There's been no leadership. I hate to say it, it's a sad commentary, but just like in football, you're either going forward or backwards. You're either moving closer to the goal line and scoring points, or you're moving backwards. And we're not only missing opportunities, we are losing ground. It's taken 20 months for this administration to put forward a U.S. trade rep, chief ag negotiator. We have Trade Promotion Authority, which is relatively benign, important, but benign in terms of its politics. It's a nonpartisan, non-controversial issue, and that hasn't happened in 2 years. More evidence that this isn't a priority is that we are not enforcing the hard work and all the effort put into USMCA, which should be a template for more free trade deals. It was bipartisan, helped workers, it helped our farmers, it helped manufacturers, and it might as well not have happened at all, because if you don't enforce it, it's not worth the paper it's written on. We said that repeatedly on both sides of the aisle, and we're not opening new markets and taking advantage of the fact that in agriculture, there's going to be a global food shortage. This is an opportunity for American producers to satisfy global demand, new demand, after what's happening in Europe, supply chain problems, et cetera. It also will help bolster our economy at a time when we've had shrinking GDP, where we have record inflation, labor shortages, and we're struggling in our own right with a recession, and it will enhance America's security interest. And it will help diffuse the control that our adversaries like China have on our allies, freedom-loving allies like the good people of Taiwan. I mean, the opportunities are there, and we're just squandering it with inaction. So my first point is President Biden is MIA, just completely MIA on trade. And second point is that we're all relearning some very important lessons and principles of foreign policy. First, weakness invites aggression. Weakness is provocative. There's not an American out there that doesn't believe that the debacle in Afghanistan, and I won't go through the litany of botched and bad decisions, but that on top of our slow and reticent response to a year of Russia's planning to invade Ukraine with no preemptive action on a part of the United States, and then we have a wide open border. Say what you want about immigration, we can debate that till the cows come home, but that's our sovereign border, and we've ceded control of it to terrorist drug cartels. What does that say to China and our adversaries around the world? The second piece of this is that energy security is national security. I submit for the record, Mr. Chairman, an article that talks about Russia shutting down completely the main artery of natural gas to Europe. Says the halt comes as European nations race to fill gas storage facilities, prevent a shortage in the midst of winter. Shortages would trigger rationing, likely kneecapping industry and tipping the continent's already struggling economy into recession. Another article, Europe is at the forefront they're on the front lines rather, of the economic war between Russia and the West that runs parallel to the battlefield in Ukraine. Soaring electricity prices and a shortage of natural gas have hammered the European economy and raised concerns about the blackouts and shortages this winter. People will literally freeze to death because Europe's weakness relative to the people they desperately need in Russia and the petro-tyrant Vladimir Putin for their energy supply. Now, we got a whole country that is literally an island unto itself, but it is also with respect to energy. We could do so much to bless the world and our allies, but we can't get out of our own way because we're punishing oil and gas and we're assaulting oil and gas, and it's not only hurting America, it's destabilizing the world, and I yield back.
I thank the gentleman. Let me recognize the gentleman from Philadelphia.